Well, good morning. Welcome to Growing Together in Grace. I'm Cathy.
I'm Ellen.
And we're so glad you're with us this morning. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about traditions
Yes.
within families.
Yes.
I love talking about traditions because we are at the season where a lot of traditions happen, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I figured this episode doesn't have to specifically be about what kind of traditions do you do at Christmas. You can share any other traditions you might do.
Okay.
And you might have different ones too, being from a Filipino family.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to talk. I don't really have questions geared for this. And so here's what I was thinking what we could do. I will start talking about the things we do at Christmas, and then you can jump in and share what you do at Christmas, and then we'll go through the year if there's any traditions you do throughout the year.
Yeah.
I love traditions.
Me too.
But one of the things I want to say that I recently heard, and it was so encouraging to me, because some of the traditions that we typically do at Christmas time, we've not been able to do this year because we moved.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for me. But I was reminded from a friend of another lady that she and I both follow on Instagram that traditions don't have to happen every year.
Yeah.
Like, for it to be a tradition, if you miss 1 year, it's okay. It's still a tradition.
Right.
And that was so encouraging to me, because there are seasons where you're not, whether it's finances or a move or sickness, like, goodness gracious, the past 2 Christmases until this Christmas, we couldn't do half the stuff because last Christmas, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law were very sick. So my in-laws had to leave and go stay with them and help them because they were so sick and they have little ones. And then the Christmas before that, I had COVID.
I think I vaguely remember
So
that.
I couldn't you know, there are some seasons where traditions don't always happen. And that's okay. Give yourself grace.
Yeah.
So I'll start. So Christmas, I love Christmas.
Me too.
So typically what Christmas looks like for our family is on my birthday, because I'm a November 26th birthday.
Your dog's coming up here.
We go and pick out a Christmas tree.
Yep. Uh-oh.
My husband absolutely insists that we have one real Christmas tree in the house. Because he would actually say, "Do you even love Christmas if you don't have one?" I'm like, okay.
I unfortunately am allergic to a lot of things, so that wouldn't happen in my house.
So there you go. Don't get a real Christmas tree.
Right.
So we have one real Christmas tree, and then we also this year got Jason's grandparents' Christmas tree.
Oh, that's why you have 2. Okay.
Because we are probably the biggest family members that love Christmas the most.
Yeah.
In Jason's family, I would say. So we always get that on my birthday, but this year we were not able to because we literally moved the day before my birthday.
Yeah.
Like the 25th. And that wasn't going to happen. So that was hard for me, and that's okay. I had to remind myself that that's okay. And then my husband started this back in 2015, I think, where when we start decorating for Christmas, he videos the whole thing.
Yeah, y'all post it.
Yeah.
I love watching it.
And he puts together
really cool.
a video each year of it, which I love looking at over the years. It's so fun to see. So that's one thing that we've started doing.
Yeah.
We also decorate gingerbread houses. And last year, for whatever reason, maybe Jason was out on a work trip or something, and then my best friend's husband was, I don't know, something happened where it ended up just being the kids and my best friend and her kids, and we decorated small mini gingerbread houses.
Yeah.
And we loved it and decided,
ambulance.
look.
As you can tell, we're outside recording at Cathy's new place, and the last episode, it was like, how many sounds can you hear outside? So we just heard an ambulance
for the
go by.
first time.
Like, okay.
We're counting because we're going to reward whoever figures it out. We're going to give them something small.
That means we have to go back and watch it and figure out how many sounds we could hear.
Anyway, all of this to say, so last year when we did that, we're like, let's do it again. And so we did it this year, and Jason did a video, and I think that might now become a thing that we do.
Be by your head.
Oh, there's a sound.
Wait, I don't know where it went. I just saw it fly by your head. I was like,
I hear buzzing.
Yes, that would be a bee. Excuse us, sorry. Oh, okay.
So we got bees and ambulances.
Ambulances. Her dog is out here. They were trying to get her to go inside. She didn't want to go inside. She's still exploring. So, anyways.
Okay, anyway, all of this to say, so gingerbread houses is a big thing. We love going looking at Christmas lights. In fact, we are going to go to Candy Cane Lane this year again because we've been doing that.
Wait,
it's by you. Have you done Candy Cane Lane before? Ellen, you have to take your granddaughter.
Yes, I do, because she loves little lights.
You have to. You, in fact, it's so close. You probably could literally put her in a stroller and walk.
Where is it at?
I'll have to have Jason give you the cross streets.
Okay.
But it's in your neighborhood.
Okay. Things to do on my list before we go to Kansas.
I will
send
Jason. I'll have Jason send the link to you.
Okay.
And it's probably ready now. Like they usually start decorating at Thanksgiving time.
You know, I think I might have passed that. It's like where the light poles are.
So that's the start. You have to keep going in and like swerve and stuff. And then there's one long street where every house is decorated. Every single house.
Yes, we're going to take a Violet.
I'll have Jason send you the streets.
This will be a family thing because I was thinking about Christmas lights.
So we're going to continue. We've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
And we'll do that this year. I think we're actually going to meet up with the Rowans at Texas Beer Garden on the 22nd. I know you're going to be out of town. We're going to have dinner with them and then go to Candy Cane Lane.
Oh, that's fun.
We'll probably swing by Starbucks and get hot chocolate.
Side of town, and I'm not even going to be there.
Anyway, so Christmas lights, obviously. Also, each of my kids get a new Christmas book each year.
Yeah.
Which is how I've been able to collect quite a variety of Christmas books. I love books. I'm a reader, as we all know.
Yeah. I'm a reading teacher, so there you go.
And so we do that. And then this is not every year. It is a tradition, but we don't do this every year just because of finances. About every other year, the kids get an Advent. And this was the year that they got an Advent calendar.
Okay.
And they love opening it. Another thing we do, now we've stopped doing the reading the book. So y'all can make fun of me if you want, but back when I was newly parent, I was very legalistic. I will not be afraid to share that. I'm ashamed. I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I refused to do Elf on the Shelf because I thought it was a pagan thing. Stupid now. Ask me. I mean, I still have no desire to do Elf on the Shelf because
I don't. It's just too complicated.
It's complicated. It's a lot of work. Yeah. So back then, some companies were doing like Shepherd on the Search. It's the Christian's response to Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah.
So it's this cute little shepherd boy that's small like the elf.
Yeah.
And he, from starting on December 1st until Christmas morning, he goes and searches for baby Jesus.
Now that's cool.
So
I have not heard about that.
Our little shepherd boy, Jason, usually does this, but sometimes I help. We hide it every day.
Yeah.
So the goal is he's trying to find. He gets closer and closer to whatever nativity set you pick, and we always pick the one that we put on our fireplace mantle. On Christmas morning, he ends up there because he's found baby Jesus.
Yeah.
But right now, he's actually, you can see him, Ellen, at this window. He's got a green and white striped hat hanging upside down at the curtain. The kitchen window, not the door window.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah. Now I see him. I'm like, wait.
That's him hanging upside down. So the kids have not found him yet.
Okay, I see him. Okay, that's funny.
So
I love that.
Our big kids actually enjoy it still.
Yeah. Now that is a cool tradition to pass down.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Fun.
We bake Christmas cookies for neighbors, which we'll do for these neighbors.
Have you met your neighbors yet?
Actually, I've met every one of them. They've all come over and given me like a sweet little Christmas card and a note and their phone numbers. We're by far the youngest. All of our neighbors are probably retired.
Okay. But that's still cool.
It is.
Because I know that was one of your things when you guys left your old neighborhood because you had made so many different friends and relationships with your neighbors.
Yes.
I knew that was one of your things that you were struggling with. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's so cool, friend.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So we're going
That's
to
exciting.
bake them cookies, and then we're still going to bake our old neighbor cookies because my son still takes math down that way.
Yeah.
So on Thursday when we come get him, we'll swing by and drop off cookies for our friends.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, what time are you on our side of town? My side of town
You're
on
in
Thursday.
school.
What time?
So I pick up Joshua at 11, and then we leave and head back this way. But hey, listen, I figured out what's the halfway point for us. There's a dog.
Her dog. She found a squirrel. I don't know what she found.
Memorial City is halfway. And
Okay.
2 of my favorite breakfast places are in the Memorial City area.
Okay.
And several of my favorite restaurant places are in the area. So
okay.
And it's like 20. It's probably 20.
Is he taking math lessons in the summertime?
No.
I knew she was going to say no.
No.
Oh, man.
He will still do piano, and that brings me that direction. So
okay. We'll talk later.
We will talk later.
Uh-oh.
But I will say that Christmas is where we do most of our traditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have other traditions. But before I talk about those, what about you? What are some things you guys like to do at Christmas time?
Oh, goodness. So I come from a huge extended family. So growing up, Christmas and then for us, my culture, New Year's is a big deal.
Okay.
And so growing up when we were little, I was really close to all of my cousins. I was the oldest out of all of my cousins. And so we would usually go over to my aunt and uncle's house. And the big Batinga tradition was, and we stayed late. At midnight, kids got to open their presents. So we opened all of our Christmas presents at midnight. And when you have friends and family there, that is like a humongous deal, is like passing out presents to everybody. And you want to talk about picking up wrapping paper, boxes with toys being pulled out. That was an insane night. But we always opened our presents at midnight together as a huge extended family.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was really cool. And so we also for New Year's, my aunt and my uncle, we just had my aunt's funeral a couple of weeks ago, but they always hosted New Year's Eve at their house. And we stayed there, and when just growing up, we'd play, we'd hang out, and then at midnight, as a big extended family, we would ring in the new year.
That's cool.
And so that was a tradition growing up. So when my husband and I got married, like I've said before in the past, he was not used to a huge extended family.
Yeah.
And so doing some of it was a little bit of a stress factor for us, because when we got married, it was like, let's spend time with your family and go to this family party and that family party, and then we'll spend time. His brother, so what has become a tradition is that his brother that lives in Kansas, we flip-flop. So either they'll come down for Thanksgiving, and then she spends family with, and then they spend family with her with her family on Christmas. And then it'll be vice versa the next year, where we'll do Christmas and she does Thanksgiving with her family, my brother-in-law's wife. And so it's the same thing for us. If we're doing one side of, like, if we're doing stuff with Chad's family, then my side we do for another holiday. Like, it's usually Christmas or like Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving where we're flip-flopping. So that gets a little bit taxing sometimes. And then my family, it doesn't matter. Everybody buys presents for everybody. I have learned to make presents. I make a tradition for me and my family to give out is cake balls. I make my own cake balls. And so that has been hey, when are we getting your cake balls for Christmas? So I cook that for family. That's usually our standard presents for my family, because it's just, I have such a large extended family.
Yeah.
For our family, just for us, we each have stockings. And over the years, I have always, when my kids figured out that who Santa was, I would fill it up with their favorite candies and some just little different things for them for each person, like what suits their personality.
Yeah.
And then we spend a certain amount on our kids. And then we open presents. We'll usually do a Christmas breakfast where in the mornings, depending on where we're at, my father-in-law, we missed it this year. He usually reads the Christmas story on Christmas morning before we have breakfast. And that's after when we do presents. Now that the kids have gotten older, we're starting a new tradition where last year we did this. Or no, it was the year before. It was before my father-in-law passed away, where we just bought gift cards and each person bought a certain amount. And then we played a game to where we were passing the gift card back and forth. Like I read a story and it was like, move to your left, or like it was where they had to move left, right. And it was kind of a game. So they really enjoyed that. We may do that again this year. I don't know, because the kids are older now. And so they're like more into cash and gift cards. So not sure what we're going to do, but like with the traditions with Christmas and New Year's, we usually spend with our, we have a group of friends that we became a part of before we merged as a church, our former church, and all of our kids are the same age. They grew up together, so we're close as couples, and then our kids are close, and so we usually for New Year's we'll get together. It's between two couples that host, and it's in the neighborhood, so we don't have to worry about leaving the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and with crazy people driving,
and being tired. And stuff.
Yeah, and it's like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah,
and so that's been our tradition as our families. We go to either or's house and spend some time for New Year's Eve. But like those are my most favorite times of the year. A tradition for me has been to decorate my house the day after Thanksgiving. This year I wanted to decorate before Thanksgiving, and Andrew, my youngest, got really upset with me and said, "Can we get through Thanksgiving first, Mom? Like, really? Like, we haven't even had Thanksgiving dinner yet. Can you wait until..." I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll wait until the day after Thanksgiving to decorate, son." He goes, I just want to enjoy Thanksgiving." I said, "Okay, fine." Anyways, but
when you were talking about when you were talking about putting stuff in the stockings, we have stockings as well, and it made me think. So my grandma, the first Christmas for every one of her great grandchildren, and grandchildren, she gets them a stocking.
Oh,
and so we all have our stockings. In fact, she called this week to make sure Dorothy had hers. I'm like, yes, you made sure she had hers on her first Christmas.
Chad's grandmother made his stocking. He has his stocking. Each of his brothers do.
That's cool.
But when our kids came along, I just her hands.
Yeah.
She couldn't make them anymore. So, but yes, all three of his him and his two brothers have one. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing that it made me think of that we do in our family, I do the 4 gift rule. Have you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I saw a blog post on this maybe 10 years ago or something, and I really liked the idea. And financially, it was the best thing for us at that time.
Yeah.
And it just became, oh, wow, this is so much easier and better financially and mentally. And anyway, so for Christmas, and I also do this for birthdays as well, I do a 4 gift rule from us. See, well, you have to understand, part of why I chose to go this route is because that's not all they're getting. They have 3 sets of grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because I'm adopted. So my adopted parents, my biological parents give gifts.
Yeah.
And then my in-laws.
Yeah.
And then they have aunts and uncles.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's so many gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to the point where it's like 4 is fine. And so the 4 gift rule in our family is something to read.
Okay.
So it could be anything from a new book series to Joshua really loves comics. And so this year he's getting the complete set. He's had them before, but he's read
Hopefully
through them
he
so
won't
much.
Hear this series before.
He's getting the complete set of Calvin and Hobbes.
He loves Calvin and
Hobbes.
Oh, that's cool.
The ones that he's read so much, they're ruined. So we got him the hardback ones that come in the really nice
that's
set.
Cool.
So there's something to read.
I love that.
Then something to wear. It could be anything from new outfits to a pair of shoes to Dorothy is getting to costumes. She's getting Anna's dress and Elsa's dress.
Oh my goodness.
So something to wear. It doesn't have to be like everyday clothes. It could be, just you wear it.
Yeah.
Then something they want. Something they absolutely want. It's the thing that they keep talking about and asking about if we can afford it within the budget.
Yeah.
And then something they need. And need is usually like Evangeline needs new tennis shoes.
Yeah.
So she'll probably be getting new tennis shoes. And that won't fall in the category of something to wear because I already got her something to wear.
Yeah.
So that's the 4 gift rule. But I actually added the 5 gift rule. And that 5th one is the kids each think about what is something we can do to give back to the world, whether it's Operation Christmas Child we've done in the past. Mm-hmm. This year, our church is doing the angel tree. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, our school does it.
So we're doing the angel tree this year. Mm-hmm. So that's the something to give back to the world.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
We don't necessarily have a budget for each kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have an overall budget of what we want to stay at or under.
Yeah.
But I was getting to the point where it was like tricky if we spend the same amount. Like for instance, Dorothy wants a stuffed fox. She wants a stuffed animal, a fox. That's like $7.
Yeah.
Joshua, the 2 things he wants are like 70 plus. So I can't we can't spend the same amount on those 2. Right. Otherwise I'm buying like 50 gifts for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's part of why we went the 4 gift rule.
Yeah.
Now, as in my family, and this made me think of like the new thing you guys started doing, because there's 6 siblings in my family. And we actually started doing this in Jason's family as well, per my recommendation.
Yeah.
As adults, when you turn 18, after 18, you get to be a part of the adult gift exchange, and we draw names at Thanksgiving. All of our names go in a hat.
Yeah.
And we draw a name.
Yeah.
And that's the person we buy Christmas gifts for.
Yeah.
And there's a limit. I think we limit anywhere between 50 to 100.
Yeah.
But the previous years it's been staying at the $50 mark.
We tried to do that one year with my dad's family, and it was going good. And then one year it was a little bit of a disaster because there was a little bit of a miscommunication, and we stopped doing that because people's feelings got hurt, and I'm just like, anyways, yes.
All that to say, I love hearing like the different things that people do. And there have been years where we've done New Year's Eve. Like growing up in my adopted family, every year my family had a close knit group of friends from church. It sounds similar to yours. Like there were maybe 5 couples and a couple single older women and some of the couple's parents. We would all gather together at one person's house and ring in the new year.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my favorite New Year's that I remember so vividly was finally one of the guys finally proposed to a girl he'd been dating for a long time.
Oh, goodness.
And we were all like, you better date her. You better marry her. You've been dating her for so long. And he finally proposed at New Year's. Aww. And I was so excited. But as far as other traditions go, we like to do fireworks on the 4th.
Yeah.
It's sometimes tricky because our daughter's birthday is on the 3rd, Evangeline's birthday. Yeah. And so there might be times where we're, busy with family.
Yeah.
But we always see fireworks somehow.
Yeah.
That the first year that Evangeline was born, we saw fireworks in the hospital room. It's like, well, look, there's fireworks.
Hey, where's that coming from? I don't know.
We let's see. We also is it on July 4th? I think it might be the National Hot Dog Contest.
Oh, girl, you watched the National Hot Dog
Contest? I don't even know. It started like 7 years ago. We were on vacation.
That's funny.
And looking for something to watch. And Joshua was like, "What's this?" And we're like, "What is this?" And Joey something, I forget. He's won it the past like 13 years. Word. It's a thing. I'm like, I cannot believe this has become a thing.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
And then we also watched the Kentucky Derby. That is a must. And Jason usually makes Moscow mules for that. Or no, mint julep, I think is what he makes for then.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what are some other traditions. Easter, we go big at Easter too, like we do at Christmas, because we feel like those two holidays are just as significant, you know, without like they're one and the same.
Yeah.
So the kids get baskets with the 4 gift rule as well, and we celebrate. It's like the gifts. We celebrate Jesus' birthday by opening. Or not celebrate Jesus' birthday, but his life and resurrection. And we dye Easter eggs and sometimes do Easter egg hunts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Trying to think. Sometimes it's not every year because my family way back when, part of my family comes from Ireland. On St. Patrick's Day, I'll make some kind of meal that's very Irish and beer bread.
Jeez, I wonder why you're Irish. Red hair, the ginger.
It's funny because this is wild. Did you know that Garbarinos are not Irish? They're Italian.
Oh.
Colin's I found this out and I've just realized I said his name. Oh well.
Bleep.
I'll tell it it's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, and they've got 3 redheaded kids. So I say this to say, yes, typically people think redheads are from Ireland, but there's red hair in Scotland and northern Italy. And anyway, all this to say,
funny.
So I typically do something then, and then Valentine's, I'll do a little Valentine's something for the kids.
Yeah.
What are some other holidays?
So, for me, because I grew up with parents that come from a different culture, some of those other holidays just my parents didn't understand.
Yeah.
And so when I had kids, I tried to do some of those holidays a little bit different. So I got to dress up for Halloween.
Oh yeah, we dressed up.
Yeah. Easter, Mom always bought my brother and I really nice clothes to wear on Sunday. Yes. So that was a tradition that I passed on to my kids, was that we buy Easter clothes for Sunday. There was one year where we didn't get to go. It was just Austin was the only one we had, and he was 4 and he had the flu. So we were up half the night, and we didn't go to church Easter Sunday that night because he had the flu.
Yeah.
But the tradition of buying my kids Easter clothes to wear their Sunday best, we did that when we went to church Easter Sunday. I wasn't very consistent with this, but I might have bought them a small Easter basket, or what I would do was at least buy them a little bit of candy for Easter, but just because of finances, we couldn't really afford Easter baskets all the time. So I would at least try and get him candy. And then Valentine's Day, I would buy them chocolate with a card or something and give that to them for Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. 4th of July is a tradition for us, and that again, that group of friends that I was talking about for New Year's Eve. Our friends Matt and Jenny, they have a place out in the country where they go out in the country, and it's our whole group of friends with our kids. We did this for probably the last 10 or 12 years. We either go out to their place or we would do it in They live in the neighborhood as well, and we would just go hang out. When the kids were little, we would all pile in the car and go watch fireworks around Stafford. That was our thing. And then when our kids swam on the swim team for Stafford, our kids were in the 4th of July parade, which was always on the 3rd. And so we celebrated it that way.
Yeah.
And we were all on the board, the swim team board. So we had a booth. And so 4th of July has been a big deal for us. So we try to watch fireworks somewhere. Thanksgiving, again, it depends on Chad's brother. Either they'll come down or we'll go up there. It just depends on the year. But it's usually at our house. And Chad he'll deep fry a turkey. We have the ham, we have all the fixings. And then sometimes my family will have a big potluck. And so after our family thing, we'll go to my family thing and we'll eat Thanksgiving. And Filipino Thanksgiving is a lot like, we have Filipino food and American food. So really, my kids, I try to have some of those traditions that or at least do some of the bigger holidays, because my parents just didn't do that. When the kids were little, my 2 oldest ones, and my son will probably hate me for talking about this, but there were maybe 5 years in a row where I would, dress the 2 older ones in coordinating Disney movie. Like one year, Ashlyn was Boo and Austin was Sully, and he had the big furry Sully. He hates that picture. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I think he did something with it. And then one year, Ashlyn was the honey pot and Austin was Pooh. And I'm not kidding you. I'll have to find it and show it to you. I took a professional picture, and Ashlyn's adorable. She's holding on to Austin, and Austin's sitting in the picture like this.
Grumpy.
He's so grumpy.
That's
and
funny.
There was another year I paired them as 2 Disney costumes. And so Austin was like, Mom, please, I don't want to be. He tries to take those pictures away when I take him out.
That's funny.
And he's like, Mom, please put those pictures up, because he's so embarrassed. But I did that a couple of years in a row where I just coordinated their outfits where they just looked really cute.
Yeah.
My son, however, hates it. So whenever he gets
I was fortunate enough this year. So we've always dressed family themed costumes.
I love that. It's so cute, y'all.
I was fortunate enough that this year, because I'm like, okay, there's no way my teenager is going to be a part of this. But he was like, I'll do it if we can do Super Mario themed. I'm like, okay.
And they were super.
And I ran with it and made it happen.
Yeah. It was so cute, though.
I think I'm getting close to the days of no longer being able to do it with him.
Yeah, because he's probably like, this is dumb.
But anyway, it's fun. I love doing Halloween is family themed. So I've done over the years, let me think. Super Mario was this year.
And it was so cute.
The past 2 years were not Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. 1 year was Wizard of Oz.
Did I get to see that one?
I don't know. I don't know if we had merged.
I do remember Harry Potter, though.
Yes, I think
it was so cute.
Yeah,
y'all.
I think we've done. So I think Wizard of Oz was before that. Yeah. 1 year was Pinocchio.
Oh, cute.
I'm trying to think others. 1 year was the Flintstones.
I would love to see that one.
Not Dorothy. Josh was the very first family Halloween was Charlie Brown. And Joshua won, because my babies are bald.
Yeah.
And big brown eyes. Joshua won that. He was a part of a costume contest. Yeah. 2 actually that year. And he won each costume contest.
Oh,
he likes to be like, that's right, I won. And the year that we did Wizard of Oz, he was the Tin Man. And his costume was the most work, because his entire face was painted with a gray paint.
Yeah.
Like a silvery, shiny gray paint. Yeah. And then he had gray pants, gray shirt. And then we got a cardboard box, and made it into a big Tin Man chest.
Yeah.
And cut holes and spray painted it gray. And then he had
The tin hat.
Like a tin hat thing and an axe. It was
that's cool.
Really cool costume.
Girl. I was impressed with the Super Mario Kart. I was like, I forgot they do themes. How cute is that?
Yeah, and everybody kept thinking Angela and I were sisters. Because she was Mario.
She does look like
we were Mario and Luigi.
I mean, look, your phone thought she was you one time. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, we love doing that. And Thanksgiving, the thing that we started doing a few years ago on Jason's side, I saw it on Pinterest and I'm like, we should do this. And we continued. We set up a card table with a white tablecloth and each year we write down what it is we're thankful for.
I love that.
And we look back at it each time. The very first year, I'll see if I can pull the picture up. You may have seen it on Facebook because I comment on it every year. Jason,
probably knowing me,
in the middle of the table drew a giant picture of an ugly face. Like it's ugly, straight up ugly.
Yeah.
And then on the side, he wrote, "I'm thankful that my wife doesn't look like this," and drew an arrow. That's the thing he wrote the first year. I was like, what in the world?
I'm sitting the mic. I'm laughing so hard.
We laugh every year. We pull it out. It's like, that's an ugly face. He's like, yeah, that's why I'm thankful that you don't look like.
Thanks, dear.
And then we also go around and say what we're thankful for.
Yes, we do that. Last year and this year we didn't do it. I think it was still a little bit too hard for us to do that because Chad's dad was not here. Not here
this was your first Thanksgiving without him, right?
Last year was our first Thanksgiving. We definitely were not. It was hard enough for him last year to get through praying before we ate. Yeah. And then this year, I don't think we didn't do it this year.
Yeah. It's it's hard when you do traditions and some of the traditions you're missing some of the people that have been a part of it. That's hard.
Yeah. We missed last year we missed my father-in-law. My mother-in-law spent Christmas with my brother-in-law in Kansas, and my father-in-law has always read the Christmas story, so that was not difficult. That was difficult, and then I think it will be again this year because we are all going to be together for Christmas. So,
is your mother-in-law going?
Yes, we're all going. And Ashlyn and Isaac and the baby are going. They're going for 3 days, and then they're going to go to Ohio.
That's right.
And your dog's under the table. So this will be baby Violet's first time traveling. We'll see how she does. So so that'll be a new tradition.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
cool.
you have to start new traditions.
Yeah, you do.
Just like you get to start some of your new traditions this year in your new neighborhood here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was fun to talk about in here.
We knew this was going to be kind of a short segment because we just wanted to talk about traditions. But when we post this episode, we're going to ask you guys what some of your traditions are that you do. Because I know that now that I'm a grandmother, I am looking for new traditions that I want to do with my grandchild. So I would love to see that.
Well, can I tell you before we end and say goodbye to our listeners? Can I tell you a tradition that Jason's mom started with my kids as a grandma that I love?
I would love to know that.
Every year at Christmas, she gets them an ornament.
I love it because I used to, at one point, I did that for my kids every year. They got to choose an ornament that represented them for that year.
So that's exactly how it all started. The first few years, obviously, I had to kind of help her think. Like this year, Dorothy wasn't, I'm like, Dorothy has been all about Anna and Elsa and Coco Melon. And so I said, if you can find an ornament within that frame. Yeah. And she found the cutest on Etsy. She found a little, it's cut from a tree, a piece of tree wood. And Anna and Elsa are painted on it. And then it says Dorothy 2023 on it. I'm like, that's perfect. Cute. And now every time I see it, I'm like, that's the year that she was obsessed with Anna and Elsa.
I like that tradition, and I may start that with my granddaughter.
Yeah, and then Joshua got a Zelda one, and this is the year he was obsessed with Zelda. And then Evangeline got Hope Valley, which is a small town from a TV show that our family and Jason's family watch and we all love. And Evangeline and Jason's mom have bonded over it. So I love it every year. And my kids love it. Like they know that they're getting one every. It's not part.
Violet's maybe a cell phone ornament because she likes to grab everybody's cell phone. And she actually knows how to touch the screen. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This is scary.
So I love it.
Okay.
And my
I love
kids
that.
love
I like that.
unwrapping their ornaments. I'm like, oh, I remember when Mimi gave this to me.
Oh,
so
okay. I like that tradition.
And then I will also say
noted
that she has done this with each of the Green kids. She got them their own. Well, I got Dorothy's this year. Sorry, Mom. She gave the kids for their first year of Christmas a nativity set that's child friendly.
Oh,
so that they can play with it over the years.
I love that. And your dog is pushing the swing.
I see that. So there's so many little childhood nativity sets.
I love that.
So many, ranging from $10 to you can spend a lot of money. But because it's a kid one, we usually at Black Friday, although it might be still on sale, the Fisher Price one, which is my favorite kid one.
Fisher Price has one?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Things you just learn.
Anyway.
Okay.
So that's what she has done for the first Christmas as part of their Christmas gift so that they have something each year at Christmas to play with.
So does your mother-in-law put their names on the ornaments?
Yes. So what she usually does now, Dorothy has a Cocoa Melon one from, was it last year? Where like you can go to Target and buy Cocoa Melon, but it doesn't say their name. But if you like your handwriting, you can use a permanent marker.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
She has gone to Etsy because sometimes Etsy's got a lot more options and it can be cheaper. Now, sometimes it's more expensive.
Sometimes I get worried about Etsy because I've heard they're delivering sometimes. Delivery is not always on point when they say they're going to deliver it.
It's hit or miss. It's for me, I've found it to be pretty accurate for the most part.
Okay.
In fact,
things to look at.
Yeah. So I say all that to say, if you find an ornament that you like while you're out and about, and you're like, this would be perfect, and there's a space for you to write the name and the year, I would totally do that.
I love that tradition. I think I may start that with Violet this year.
It's a really cool tradition.
I like that.
And it's not super expensive either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Love it.
Anyway, and then I mean, this might be something Ashlyn wants to do. I like to get a new book each year for the Christmas season.
I love it. I may help her jumpstart that because I am a reading teacher and I too like to read. So, in fact, for extended family, their kids, I buy them books. I go to half price books because I'm a teacher and I get a discount, and they're really good books. They're either a surplus or they're gently used books.
Yeah.
And I will buy them. And then a lot of times my cousins are like, of course, here's your book. So the kids really like that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I love these ideas, guys.
Yeah.
We'll post it when we post this.
Yes, and that's why we are asking y'all to share some ideas because, there might be some ideas out there that were like, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, yeah. If you're newly married or you want to start a new tradition or something, or you have grandkids or newly started family.
Yeah.
Just great ideas to do and think about. So,
and as I said at the beginning of the episode, give yourself grace. Like, you may not be able to do everything.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I think in the holiday season, sometimes you feel so rushed
and so pressured to do it all
that you have to do it all. And it's okay if you miss it.
And if you don't do it all, sometimes slow.
Yeah.
And less busy is the best.
Yeah.
I'm finding that to be true for myself.
Yes. So true.
Anyway, well, thank you all for listening. I'm Cathy.
I'm Ellen.
And we're growing together in grace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.